Father of a young family himself, I think acutely aware of the challenges that many are facing at the moment, but hamstrung to a degree as to what he can do in reply, in help, because it's not exactly where a politician wants to be right now, and certainly not one ahead of an election, having this inflationary issue which causes those guardrails to be in place.
Yeah, it's a pesky issue, isn't it? It just won't go away no matter what you do. But you've got to remember that applies for both sides of the parliament. There's only so much you can do here in Australia because there's a lot of factors international, and over them you have no control. So it's only limited in what he can do anyway. But whatever he can do, you can bet he'll do it.
There's a lot of praise for one individual in the lead up to this budget, from the Prime Minister down to, I know Jim Chalmers always praises Katie Gallaher as well, but the Finance Minister does receive a lot of internal praise for how she runs the books, Richo. What do you pick up?
Yeah, she's very popular with the troops. There's no doubt about that. She's got a very solid position in the caucus, and irrespective of which ticket people think they're getting on to get in a ministry, she'll be on everyone's ticket, because she's just so good. You know, Katie Gallaher has proven herself to be one of the stars of the government, and it's not always easy for a woman in her position to prove that sort of thing, but she has.
The Treasury going for a more optimistic number when it comes to inflation than the RBA. Anthony Albanese will be hoping they're right, because if they are, he'll be a lot closer to winning that election next year.
Yeah, well, I think if they're right, then Albo's just about home and hosed. It's very hard to see him getting beaten. You know, Dutton plods away and does a good job, but there doesn't seem to be any great movement for change in Australia, and of course, there's always underpinning the fact that there's no movement for change the fact that they just like Albo. They just see Albo as a good bloke, and they're right.
For Peter Dutton, you're facing a first-term government seeking re-election. That's hard enough anyway. But recently, issues have very much been on his favoured turf. He has looked more and more comfortable in recent times, Richo, as he seeks to make his party competitive ahead of the next election.
Well, I think he is more comfortable for a start. I think as you stay longer in the job, I think you start to think, hey, I can handle this, and I think that's what he's thinking right now. He can do the job, and that always gives you that little bit of extra confidence when you think you can do it. So I think he's doing reasonably well, but he needs to do reasonably well because, as I said, people just like Albo. The thing is, you've got to give them that big reason for change. And that's why I think Peter Dutton really hasn't got at the moment.
Do you think Thursday we might see something along those lines with the budget reply? Is it important to do it then, or is it too early for an opposition to be putting out a big ticket item?
Oh, you've got to put something out in budget and reply. I mean, it is a time when the whole of the country's looking at you. You can't just waste that opportunity, throw it away by just prattling on and giving a normal political speech. You've got to release something. You've got to say something that catches people's minds and hearts.
Richo, good on you, mate. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, mate.